everybody, it's Sarah, and this is a video response to OpenDoors08. She had left a question, what was your breaking point? I want to say my breaking point was, I've been overweight my whole life. I've been dieting for 20 years, if not maybe a little bit more, and honestly, like, nothing has worked. Nothing. Like, I'll lose a little bit of weight and it doesn't ever go any further than that, and it doesn't matter what I've tried, how many diets, how much exercise, it honestly doesn't matter. And I actually had given up to the point where I was going to let the weight take over me, and I didn't care. I cared, but what was I going to do about it, So I moved out here 2 years ago to Arizona, and my mom was telling me how there was someone that worked at the casino with her, because she works at the casino too. That's where I work. She worked with somebody from the casino who got the lap band done, and she was giving me all sorts of details about it, and it sounded just so awesome. It sounded so perfect, and it didn't sound, very harmful, and and the insurance was going to cover it, and I was like super stoked about that. So I worked at the casino for about a year or so, and I never really pursued the whole lap band thing or gastric bypass because of, I was still trying to set my roots, I guess, here in Arizona, make new friends and, go out, and I was depressed because I missed my friends back home, and, I don't know, I just never really got into it until earlier this year, or earlier last year, 2008. And I've always, for the past 3-4 years, I guess, I've done research on gastric bypass and lap band. A friend of mine was going to get it done, and I was actually trying to convince her not to do it, because I was like, God, why would you want to do that to yourself? But I did more research, and I found out, it's, you have to be in that mind frame. You have to be in that mind frame to want to do this, and actually, it's not just like a whim thing. Oh yeah, I think I want to do that, So, early last year, I just, I was like, I want to do this, I want to get this done, because I've been the same weight for the last 5-6 years, approximately the same weight, same size, and I am just having a little more complications, nothing major. I don't have diabetes or anything, but, the aches and the pains, and, I stand on my feet for 8 hours a day, and so earlier last year, I had looked into getting the surgery, and I was originally going to go for the lap band until I did more research, and I'm like, you know what? No, the lap band, I need to lose a lot of weight. Once I get my surgery date, I'll tell you guys my weight, but until then, I'm not going to tell you. But I need to lose a lot of weight, and I'm like, the lap band is just not going to do it, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it up good, I want to go all the way. So I was looking into getting the gastric bypass, and, my mom, was just backing me up 100%, and my stepdad was backing me up 100%. My dad, he lives back in St. Louis. He has no idea about this, and I don't even know if I'm going to tell him or not, but my mom and my stepdad were just behind me 100%, and they said, you'll feel better, and you'll be healthier, and they really were rooting for me to get this done, but they didn't want to try to persuade me in any way, because it wasn't like you know, they weren't trying to influence me. I'm sorry, I have something going on with my eye. Like, it's itching and it's watering. Okay. So, in April of 2008, I found a main doctor. I didn't have a doctor, a regular doctor, primary care physician. I didn't have one, so I found one in the area, and I went there, I said, look, the only reason why I need you is because I want to get the gastric bypass surgery. And she was trying to convince me to do the lap band, and I was like, no, I'm pretty dead set on this. So she got me headed in the right direction, and she gave me a piece of paper and said, okay, here, you need to go get some lab tests done. Take this, get it done. Some, you know, blood work done. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, that was April of 2008. I procrastinated because I'm like the world's biggest procrastinator, and okay, a week went by, another week went by, another week went by, never got it done. So the very beginning of May, I got a phone call at work from my mom, and she told me that my stepdad was unconscious, and she called 911 to pick him up. So I left work, I met her at the hospital, and he was totally unconscious. He stayed one night here in town, and then spent the next 3 weeks up in Flagstaff, because they're a hell of a lot better hospital than here in town. Oh my god. So we took him up to Flagstaff. I was out of work on family medical leave, and my mom and I sat at my stepdad's bedside for 3.5 weeks, every single day, 10 to 12 hours a day. He was unconscious the whole time. He had meningitis, and the meningitis caused strokes in his brain, and I'm not gonna go into that. Anyways, he was on a breathing machine. Bailey! He was on a breathing machine, and so, anyways, long story short, my stepdad passed away on May 27th, 2008, and like looking at his life and how he lived his life and all the things that he accomplished and all the things that he did, and looking at my life and comparing it to my life, and how many things I have not been able to experience or see or do or enjoy because of my weight. You know, I guess, I'm sorry. It made me realize I can't do this anymore. I can't be this big. You know, so I decided that after he passed away, I was going to do whatever it takes to get the surgery, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So, he really, really wanted me to get this surgery. He knew how bad I wanted it. He said if there was any way that he could pay for the surgery himself, he's like, I would do it in a heartbeat. I just wish he was here. I wish he was here so he could